You've watched countless videos about the brain, but this one is different because this isn't about tricks. It's about transformation, clarity, and control. Welcome to this life-changing video from Soulful English. You're here because you felt it, the frustration of forgetting, the fog in your mind that never seems to clear. If you've ever forgotten a name seconds after hearing it, you know the embarrassment that follows. That silent moment where your mind just goes blank. If you've studied for hours only to forget everything during the exam, you understand the helplessness that makes you question your intelligence and worth. If you've walked into a room and forgotten why you came in, you've experienced how fragile memory can feel in an overloaded world. If your head feels overloaded with information, unable to filter what matters from what doesn't, you are not alone. This video speaks to your struggle because this isn't just another lesson, it's a mirror for your mind. It's the reminder that you're capable of so much more than you think. This video is not just for you, it is meant for you. You're about to learn the exact steps that can unlock your brain and upgrade your memory forever. Before we start, take a deep breath. Clear every distraction around you. Let this moment be a reset, because what you're about to hear can truly change your mind. You're going to learn how to remember anything you want for life. But more than that, you'll learn how to trust your mind again. This isn't just another 5 tricks to boost your memory type of video. This is a complete mental reset, a deep, powerful system that changes how your brain works. And here's something special. While you train your memory, your English will improve too, because everything you hear here is real, natural, and powerful language. As you listen, your vocabulary will grow, your comprehension will sharpen, and your confidence will expand without even realizing it. So, whether you want to pass exams, remember everything you read, speak fluent English, or train your mind like a genius, stay with me till the end. Because if you truly apply these steps, you will never forget what matters again, and you'll finally feel what it's like to trust your mind again. Let's begin with the foundation. Step 1. Understand how memory works. The real reason you forget everything, even the things you care about most. Before you can learn how to remember, you must first understand why you forget. This is where everything begins. The hidden truth no one told you. Most people think they have a bad memory. They say things like, "I'm not smart, my brain is weak, I just can't memorize things." But here's the truth. You don't have a weak memory. You just have an untrained one. Your brain is powerful, but it was never given the right system. Think of it like this. When you bought your first smartphone, you didn't know how to use all the features right away. You learned over time. Your memory works the same way. You were never taught how to remember. You only learned how to repeat. And repetition without strategy is wasted effort. The first mistake we all make is this. We never learned how memory actually works. Schools taught us what to memorize, not how to memorize. So let's fix that right now. Let me explain it in the simplest and most powerful way you'll ever hear. Your brain is like a library, massive, full of knowledge, but only useful if everything is organized, labeled, and easy to find. Every time you learn something, a name, a fact, a date, it's like placing a new book on a shelf. But if you don't put it properly, it gets lost. If you don't label that book, revisit it, or check where it belongs, it eventually disappears into the noise, hidden among thousands of others. That's what happens inside your mind every day. Information comes in, but it doesn't stay because your brain doesn't move it correctly. You're not losing memory. You're losing order. Your brain isn't deleting, it's misfiling. It's time to rebuild that system. And the key lies in understanding 2 things: short-term memory and long-term memory. These 2 determine whether something stays or fades. Short-term memory is like a whiteboard. You write something on it, but if you don't save it, It gets erased by the next wave of information. Long-term memory, on the other hand, is like a permanent notebook. Once saved there, it becomes a part of you. It stays for life. Most people keep everything floating in short-term memory. They hear a name, but never repeat it. They read a page, but never connect emotionally. They cram for exams, but never revisit. They memorize words, but never use them. So the knowledge never moves. It simply disappears overnight. Let's make this real. You're at a party. You meet someone new. They smile and say, "Hi, I'm Jason." You chat for a few minutes and move on. 5 minutes later, someone asks, "What was his name?" And your mind freezes, blank, empty. It's not that you didn't hear it, you just didn't process it. Your brain received the data, but it never stored it because it wasn't repeated, connected, or visualized. It had nothing to hold on to. But what if you made one tiny change? The moment Jason said his name, you linked it emotionally. You said to yourself, "Jason," like the actor Jason Statham. You smiled, repeated it. "Nice to meet you, Jason." A few minutes later, you said it again. "Jason, what do you do?" Your brain took notice. It focused, connected, and repeated. That repetition built a stronger path. The name moved from short-term to long-term memory. Next time you see him, you remember effortlessly because now. Jason isn't just a name. It's a memory connected with emotion and repetition. That's the secret. Memory isn't talent, it's technique. It's not about how smart you are, it's about how trained your system is. If you keep throwing information into your brain without structure, it's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. It never stays. But when you understand how memory truly works, every piece of information you touch becomes easier to recall, organize, and use. So before we go further, remember this. Your memory is not broken. Your system is. And today, together, we're going to rebuild that system from zero. Days. Because once you understand how memory works, you stop blaming yourself. You start building confidence. You start remembering again. Take this moment as your first victory. You've just learned the foundation of mental mastery, awareness. And awareness changes everything. Now, let's move to step 2, pay full attention, because the truth is, you can't remember what you never noticed. Step 2, pay full attention, because you can't remember what you never truly noticed. This single truth could change how you learn forever. Here's the brutal truth. You don't have a memory problem. You have an attention problem. You cannot remember what your mind never fully observed. You can't recall what you didn't see clearly. You can't recall what your brain never focused on deeply enough to make it matter. Think about this. How many times have you read a page only to realize you have no idea what you just read? That's not memory. That's distraction. Before we talk about improving memory, we must fix the foundation, your focus. Because if you don't fix this one thing, no other technique will work. Every single day, your brain receives millions of pieces of information, sounds, colors, messages, voices, notifications, headlines, all fighting for attention. If your brain tried to remember everything, you would go insane. So it filters. It chooses what to keep and what to throw away. And what determines what stays? Simple. Your attention, if you focus on it. It stays. If you don't, it disappears like it never existed. Your attention is the gatekeeper of memory, the invisible filter that decides what enters your long-term mind and what fades into nothing. Think about a simple, ordinary day. You get out of a taxi. You're tired, distracted, checking your phone, thinking about dinner, rushing to get home. You pay the driver, step out, and walk away. 5 minutes later, your heart drops. You left your bag in the car. Panic hits. You try to recall the number plate. the car color, the driver's face, but your brain gives you nothing. It's like a black screen. Why? Because your brain was never truly paying attention. You saw it, but you didn't look. You heard, but you didn't listen. You existed, but you weren't present. That's the tragedy of modern life. We're everywhere except where we are, surrounded by noise, but starving for awareness. Now imagine something different. You pause before leaving the taxi. You look clearly at the number plate, 8473. You see the driver's face, his smile. You whisper to yourself, "White Toyota, 8473. That 2-second pause builds a memory path. Later, when you need it, your brain recalls it instantly. That's the power of attention. You didn't just look, you saw. You didn't just hear, you noticed. You gave your brain permission to save. Now, apply that to everything you learn. When you study English vocabulary, don't just read the word, say it out loud. Feel it. Repeat it with energy. When you listen to someone speaking in English, don't multitask. Don't scroll your phone. Be there, in that sentence, in that sound, in that moment. Because if your mind is not present, your memory won't be either. Attention is not optional. It's the oxygen your memory breathes. You might think your memory is weak, but truthfully, it's your focus that's scattered. The world has trained your brain to be distracted. Social media, short videos, constant noise. All of it keeps your brain jumping from one thing to another before it can even process the first. But here's the truth you need to remember. You can't save a file you never opened. So don't blame your memory, blame your lack of focus. From now on, whenever you want to remember something, stop for 5 seconds. Pause, look, listen, say it out loud, repeat it in your head. Give it real attention for just 5 seconds, because those 5 seconds can be the difference between remembering for life and forgetting forever. So whenever you meet someone, read a word or hear a new idea, lock your attention on it. See it clearly, like it's the only thing that exists. Attention is not just focus, it's respect. It's telling your brain, this matters. And your brain listens. It remembers what you respect. Once you understand this, every part of your life changes. Learning, work, relationships, English, all become sharper, deeper, and unforgettable. Because memory begins with attention. If you don't open the door, nothing gets inside. Step 2 is the foundation of memory mastery. Now that your attention is trained, let's move to step 3. Turn words into pictures. Because your brain doesn't think in words. It thinks in images. Your brain is a filmmaker, not a typist. When it remembers, it doesn't see letters. It sees color, motion, emotion, and shape. So here's the secret. Your brain doesn't remember words. It remembers pictures. If you want to remember more, start thinking like your brain does. Let that idea sink in deeply. If I say the word elephant, what comes to your mind first? The spelling ELEPHANT? Of course not. You see a giant gray animal. Heavy steps, long trunk, slow movement, maybe even the sound of trumpeting. That's your brain working visually. That's how memory lives. Not in language, but in image. So, if you want to remember something, stop reading it. Start seeing it. Let's test it. You meet a girl named Lily. If you just think Lily equals name, you'll forget in minutes. But if you imagine her holding a lily flower, smiling gently, her name sticks. Your brain goes, oh, that's interesting. Let's keep it. The more exaggerated, funny, or emotional the image, the stronger the memory. Want to remember the word volcano? Don't just think of a mountain. Imagine a giant chocolate cake exploding with red-hot syrup. Smell the sweetness and heat. Yes, It sounds silly, but that's why it works. Because memory is emotion, movement, and surprise. The brain remembers what makes it feel alive. Let's practice another. You want to remember a shopping list: milk, eggs, book, shoes, cat. Don't memorize it like a robot. Build a visual story. Picture a huge milk carton sitting on a chair, reading a book. Eggs fall from the ceiling like snow, while a cat wearing glasses watches in shock. You laugh because it's strange, but that's the point. You feel something, and what you feel, you remember. Your brain loves creativity. This is how memory champions memorize hundreds of words. It's how actors remember entire scripts. It's how polyglots learn thousands of words. They don't read harder, they see better. From today, do the same. Don't just learn, visualize, feel, animate what you study inside your mind. Turn names into faces, turn facts into pictures, turn words into colorful stories. Because what you imagine vividly becomes what you remember clearly. Every time you create a scene, your brain says, "This is important. This has meaning." That emotional tag locks the memory inside. And if you're learning English, this step alone can make your learning 10 times faster. Words will stop being foreign. They'll start being alive. So from now on, don't just read information, see it, feel it, bring it to life, because a living memory never dies. This is not imagination, it's activation. You're giving your brain the movie it's been waiting to watch. And once it watches, it never forgets. Step 3. Then, is your creative revolution. Words fade, but pictures stay. Turn every lesson into a story your brain can't let go. Step 4. Use the story method, because your brain is wired for stories, not lists. This is one of the greatest secrets of memory. Here's the truth. Your brain doesn't like disconnected facts. It loves drama, emotion, characters, and flow. That's why stories last forever. Think about your favorite childhood story. You still remember it today, word for word, even though you haven't read it in years. Why? Because it wasn't just information, it was emotion. It had people, colors, voices, conflict, laughter, and hope. Your brain remembers life, not lists. This next method is one of the most powerful tools used by memory champions. Actors, teachers, and even ancient philosophers. It's called the story method. If you want to remember anything in life, wrap it inside a story, because stories are natural memory containers. They hold, connect, and protect. Let's test it. Imagine someone tells you, "Here's a list: apple, horse, jacket, candle, ice cream, cloud, socks, chair, tree, monkey." Try memorizing it. You might remember 3 or 4 words, maybe 6 if you push hard, but after 5 minutes, gone. The words float away like smoke. Why? Because the list has no meaning. Each word is alone, floating, disconnected. Your brain has nothing emotional to hold on to. But now, let's use the story method. Let's connect them in a strange, funny, unforgettable way. Ready? Let's begin the movie inside your mind. A giant apple falls from the sky and hits a horse on the head. The horse screams, runs into a shop, and steals a jacket. He lights a candle to see in the dark, but accidentally melts an ice cream cone. The ice cream explodes into a giant cloud raining socks. One sock hits a chair, which suddenly grows into a massive tree, and from that tree, a laughing monkey swings down and gives you a thumbs up. Now close your eyes. Repeat the story. You'll remember every word in order, because now it's not a list. It's a story. It's movement. It's emotion. This is how memory works. Stories create connections. Each thing leads naturally to the next. so your brain follows the flow easily. That's why you can remember every detail of a movie you watched once, but forget a lecture you studied for hours. Emotion builds structure. Your brain is not a machine, it's a storyteller. It's wired to link meaning, rhythm, and feeling. And the stronger the story, the longer the memory. Stories have structure. They have beginnings, middles, endings, conflict, and resolution. And that rhythm gives your memory something to hold on to. Think about children. They remember fairy tales word for word, but forget math formulas. Why? Because the story touches their hearts, not just their heads. Want to remember your to-do list? Turn it into a short. Funny story. My coffee cup called me, told me to buy milk, then ran away with my shoes. Want to remember English vocabulary? Turn each word into a scene. Don't just memorize. Live the word. Feel it. Let it speak to you. If you want to give a speech, turn every point into a story. Don't memorize the text. Remember the scenes in your mental movie. Your brain will walk through those moments naturally, like turning pages of a familiar book. That's the power of narrative. The story doesn't have to be logical. In fact, the crazier the better. Because the brain loves surprise more than logic. Surprise locks attention. So give yourself permission to be weird, creative, even childish. Because memory is not about seriousness, it's about connection. When you learn this, you stop trying to remember. You start experiencing what you learn. You don't study, you live it. This method doesn't just make memory stronger, it makes learning joyful. You'll laugh while memorizing, and that laughter builds emotion. That's the superpower of the story method. It turns everything boring into something unforgettable. It's not just memory improvement, it's memory freedom. Now that you understand how to use stories, let's take it deeper. Step 5. Practice spaced repetition. Because one-time learning is fake learning. Here's a painful truth. Cramming doesn't work. Memorizing something once doesn't mean it's yours forever. Real memory takes rhythm and repetition. Your brain needs time, space, and review to make knowledge permanent. And that's what spaced repetition gives you, a scientific rhythm of recall. Think of memory like writing in sand. You write it today, it looks clear. But tomorrow, wind blows, waves crash, and the writing fades away. By next week, it's gone. That's called the forgetting curve, a real scientific phenomenon discovered by Hermann Ebbinghaus over a century ago. If you don't review, your brain deletes, but every time you revisit, it remembers deeper. That's how you beat forgetting, through repetition with rhythm. Here's the formula. Learn once. Review after 1 hour. Then after 1 day. Then 2 days. Then 4. Then 1 week. Then 2 weeks. Each review digs deeper. Each repetition tells your brain, this is important. Keep it. After 5 or 6 spaced repetitions, that memory becomes permanent, like carving stone. Let's see it in action. You learn the English word, serendipity. It means finding something good without looking for it. Beautiful, right? You love the word. Tell your friend. Feel proud. But then you never review it. A week later, gone. It's not your brain's fault. It's the missing rhythm. Now, try again. Day 1. Learn serendipity. Write a sentence. I found a beautiful book by serendipity. Day 2. Say it aloud in conversation. Day 4. Write a short story using the word. Day 7. Hear it in a podcast and smile. Day 14. Teach it to someone. Now it's yours for life. Because you didn't just meet the word. You built a relationship with it. Memory, like love, needs time and care. Repetition is affection for the mind. Many learners use tools like Anki, Quizlet, or Brainscape to help automate repetition. But even without apps, you can do it with a notebook. Write what you learn, review it weekly. It's not about tools, it's about timing. Your brain thrives on rhythm, not chaos. Think of memory like watering a plant. You can't just pour water once and walk away. You must water gently, regularly, until deep roots form. If you apply this one principle, spaced repetition, your memory will stop being temporary. It will become reliable, steady, and unbreakable. You'll no longer ask, "Why can't I remember?" Instead, you'll smile and say, "Because I reviewed it. I trained my brain to keep it." Step 6. Use emotional connection, because feelings make memory permanent. Emotion is the secret language your brain truly understands and never forgets. Here's something powerful. Once you understand this, your entire approach to learning will change forever. The stronger the emotion, the deeper the memory. Think about your life. Do you remember what clothes you wore 7 days ago? Probably not. But you remember the day someone broke your heart. You remember the time you were humiliated in class, or when someone's kindness made you cry. Why? Because your brain stores emotions, not events. Facts fade, but feelings remain. Your brain doesn't just record information, it captures the emotional weight that came with it. That's why pain lasts. So does joy. If you want to remember something deeply, attach an emotion to it. Without emotion, knowledge is lifeless. With emotion, it becomes unforgettable. You could read a sentence 10 times and forget it tomorrow. But if one sentence moves you, makes you cry, laugh, or feel strong, you'll remember it forever. That's the power of emotion. It activates the amygdala, a small part of your brain that marks information as meaningful and stores it permanently. So next time you study, ask yourself, how does this make me feel? Can I connect this to something real in my life? That's how you make it stick. Let's take an example. You're studying a history date, April 15th, 1912. The Titanic sank. Most people memorize the date, but forget it soon after. Why? Because they don't care. The number means nothing emotionally, but when you add humanity, everything changes. Now it becomes a story. Think about it. 100 people died. Musicians kept playing as the ship sank. Mothers held their children. Lovers whispered goodbye under freezing skies. Suddenly, it's not just history, it's heartbreak, it's bravery, it's love, it's loss. And now, you'll never forget April 15th, 1912, because you felt it. Every time you learn something, find its emotional core. Ask, have I experienced something like this? Can I feel sadness, joy, or surprise here? If yes, your brain will remember longer. If no, it will delete it within hours. Even fake emotion works. Your brain values energy more than logic. Example, math formula, area of a triangle equals 1/2 base times height. Boring, right? But imagine the triangle as a pizza slice. You only get half. That small pain of losing half the pizza locks it into memory. It sounds silly, but silly works because it creates feeling. Feeling is glue. Your brain doesn't care about seriousness. It cares about energy. So, if a topic feels dull, bring it to life with emotion, even playfulness. When you connect information with emotion, you move it from your mind into your soul. You don't just remember, you feel the truth of it. This is how memories of childhood songs stay, not because of the lyrics, but because of how they made you feel safe, loved, alive. If you understand and apply this, you'll begin to feel every lesson come alive, and what's alive never dies. Emotion turns learning into life. Now, let's move to step 7. Teach what you learn. Because teaching is remembering twice. The moment you teach, you become the master. Here's one of the most underrated secrets of memory. If you want to remember something forever, teach it immediately. Not tomorrow, right now. When you teach, your brain transforms. You stop being a receiver of knowledge and start becoming its creator. That shift locks the information inside. Teaching forces you to recall, organize, and explain what you know. That process carves the memory deep into your mind, like engraving stone. Let's say you learn the English word procrastinate. It means to delay doing something. You understand it, but if you walk away, your brain forgets soon. Now try this instead. You tell a friend, "Hey, do you know the word procrastinate? It means delaying things we know we should do, like homework or exercise." You laugh, relate, and share a story. "I always procrastinate doing the dishes." Boom! Now the word is yours. It lives inside your memory because you didn't just learn, you used it, explained it, and taught it. That's how true learning happens. When you give, you grow twice. Teaching doesn't mean standing in front of a class. You can explain it to a friend, record a short voice note, or even talk to yourself in the mirror. Each time you explain something, your brain rebuilds the knowledge from within. And what you rebuild, you never lose. That's real memory training. Students who study and then teach perform 90% better on tests. Doctors who train interns remember procedures faster. Teachers remember forever. Because when you teach, you heal twice, once for others and once for yourself. Teaching is not the end of learning, it's the proof of it. It's one of the most powerful tools you can use. It costs nothing. It's fast, natural, and available every single day. You don't need an audience. You just need intention. When you speak knowledge out loud, your brain treats it as truth and keeps it safe. From today, whenever you learn something new, ask, "Who can I teach this to?" A friend, your journal, your future self. It doesn't matter. Just share. Teaching doesn't only build memory, it builds clarity, confidence, and influence. It's how knowledge turns into wisdom. It's how learners become leaders. If you apply this step daily, you'll become a memory machine. But more than that, you'll inspire others simply by being curious and generous. Now we enter step 8. Create a mind palace. Because your brain remembers places better than random facts. It's one of history's greatest memory tools. This method was used by ancient Greek philosophers and is still used today by memory champions who memorize hundreds of items with ease. Here's how it works. Your brain naturally remembers places, homes, schools, streets, rooms. You can picture them clearly, even years later. Why? Because your brain loves space. It remembers location better than language. So, we use that power to store knowledge visually. A mind palace means linking memories to physical spaces in your mind, your home, school, or favorite cafe. You walk through it to recall details. Let's build one together. Choose a place you know very well, your house. Picture the door, the living room, the kitchen, the stairs, every room. Now assign one thing you want to remember to each location. For example, the planets in order: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. At the living room, you see a pan on fire. That's Mercury, hot and metallic. In the kitchen, a perfume bottle sprays pink mist. That's Venus. Beauty. In the bathroom, a spinning globe floats in the tub. That's Earth. In the bedroom, red dust covers the bed. That's Mars, the red planet. On the balcony, a giant balloon bounces. That's Jupiter, the biggest. On the stairs, a golden ring glows. That's Saturn, the ringed planet. On the terrace, an ice cube shivers. That's Uranus, the cold one. And at the gate, blue waves crash at your feet. That's Neptune, god of the sea. Now close your eyes. Walk through your house mentally. You'll never forget the order again. Because now, it's not random, it's spatial, emotional, visual. Your brain connects space with story. The stronger the imagery, the deeper the memory. That's how memory athletes can memorize 500 numbers in order. Use your palace for speeches, vocabulary, lists, or facts. Review it daily. Walk through it mentally. Make it strange, colorful, and fun. The more emotional and vivid your images, the stronger the recall. Don't worry if it feels hard at first. It's like building a mental muscle. Soon your brain will feel like a temple of knowledge, organized, peaceful, and powerful. No more lost information. Everything has its sacred place. Step 9. Review before sleep. Because night is when your brain decides what to keep and what to let go. This is a hidden secret of memory. Here's a fact schools never teach, but science confirms it again and again. What you do in the last 10 minutes before bed changes everything. When you sleep, your brain doesn't rest. It organizes. It reviews every thought, every sound, every idea you've absorbed throughout the day. It's like a librarian working late, sorting thousands of books. It decides what to keep, what to delete, and what deserves long-term storage. So when you review something right before sleep, you send a signal. This is important. Please save it. And your brain obeys. Let's make this practical. You study 10 English words in the afternoon. You feel proud. But at night, you scroll through social media for an hour. You watch 10 short videos, laugh at random memes, then fall asleep. Guess what your brain keeps? The jokes, the noise, the useless distractions. Meanwhile, the English words you work so hard to learn fade away into the dark. Not because you're lazy, because your brain followed your attention. Now, imagine a different night. You sit quietly for 5 minutes. No phone, no noise. You review those same 10 words with focus and peace. You whisper them softly. You build small sentences. You feel proud of yourself. Then you close your eyes and sleep. Your brain gets the message. It says, yes, this matters. And it moves that information from short-term to long-term storage. You wake up stronger, sharper, more confident. That's how powerful this habit is. It's not about time, it's about timing. 5 quiet minutes before sleep can change how you remember for life. Here's what you can do each night. Step 1. Turn off distractions. Step 2. Open your notebook or flashcards. Step 3. Review your top 5 points. Speak them out loud or say them silently. Visualize them. Feel grateful for learning something new. Then rest. Let your brain take over. This ritual takes no extra time. It's part of your natural rhythm, but it transforms your memory, focus, and even your sleep quality. Because when you end the day with purpose, your mind stops racing. It finds closure. It organizes peace and knowledge side by side. Most people throw away their best learning time without realizing it, but you can use it wisely, and it will serve you forever. This is the hidden weapon memory masters use every night. A small act that turns chaos into clarity, confusion into understanding. Now step 10, write things down. Because writing is the save button of your brain. It transforms thought into something solid and unforgettable. There's a reason people forget what they hear, forget what they read, but rarely forget what they write. Writing activates the brain differently. It slows your thinking. It forces you to organize your thoughts. It creates a strong physical and mental bridge between your hand and your memory. When you write, you're not just learning, you're engraving. You're turning floating thoughts into physical truth. Writing makes the invisible visible. If you don't write it, it stays loose and fades. But when you do, it lands, locks, and lasts. Writing is memory's permanent ink. Think about it. When you listen or read, your brain is passive. It says, okay, that sounds nice, but often forgets it in minutes. But when you write something in your own hand, your brain wakes up. It says, wait, this is serious. I need to understand and keep this. That's when true learning begins. Writing doesn't just help you remember words, it helps you understand their meaning deeply and personally. Let's test it. You're learning the English word resilience. It means the ability to recover after difficulties. You nod. You get it? But will you remember? If you don't use it, you'll forget by tomorrow. But if you grab a notebook and write, resilience equal bouncing back after tough times, everything changes. Then add a sentence. After losing his job, he didn't give up. His resilience helped him find a new path. And finally, add your connection. I want to become more resilient in my life too. Now, it's no longer a word, it's your story. You've written it into your brain. Typing is fast, but writing is real. When you type, your fingers move automatically. When you write by hand, your mind moves with purpose. Ikio. You feel every letter, every curve, every sound of your pen touching paper. That physical connection strengthens neural pathways in your brain. Studies show students who take handwritten notes remember more than those who only type or highlight. Writing forces the brain to engage deeply. So, what should you write? Anything that matters. New vocabulary, inspiring quotes, key lessons, lines that touched your heart, or thoughts you never want to lose. Each sentence you write is a seed. One day, it will grow into wisdom. One notebook written with love is worth more than 10 unread books. Writing is your personal library. You're building your own mind, page by page, thought by thought. It's not just memory, it's legacy. Start small. One sentence a day, a reflection, a word, a lesson. Because when you write it, you claim it. When you claim it, you remember it. And when you remember it, you become it. Writing is not only a tool, it's transformation. It's how you save yourself from forgetting who you are. Step 11. Use active recall, because testing yourself builds true, unshakable memory. This is where real learning begins. Most people make a huge mistake when studying. They keep rereading, rewatching, and believe they understand. But understanding isn't remembering. The real question isn't, do you get it while reading? The real question is, can you recall it when it's gone? That's what active recall tests. Close the book, close the app, ask yourself, can I remember what I just learned? No cheating, no copying, just your brain versus silence. That moment of struggle, trying to pull the answer from within, is what strengthens the memory. Every recall is a mental workout. Think of it like this. Reading is watching someone lift weights. Active recall is you lifting them. And every rep builds strength. Let's try it. You read. Consistency is more important than intensity. You understand it. Now test it. Close the text. Say it in your own words. What was that line again? Oh yes, being consistent matters more than working hard once. Boom, you just engraved it in memory. That effort, that small mental push, is how real memory grows. Every time you recall something, you make it harder to forget. After reading, write what you remember. After watching a video, pause and summarize it out loud. After learning a new word, use it in conversation. Do this before sleep. Ask yourself 3 questions. What did I learn today? What does it mean? Can I explain it without looking? That's active recall in action. It's uncomfortable at first, but it's the discomfort that builds mastery. Knowledge recalled is knowledge owned. It's not enough to read. You must retrieve. Don't just highlight. Don't just nod. Challenge your brain. Pull the information out. Each time you do, your mind gets sharper. Your confidence grows. and your memory becomes iron strong. That's how champions train their minds. Step 12. Protect your mind from overload. Because a crowded brain can't remember anything. A noisy mind can't hear what truly matters. Here's the truth nobody talks about. Your brain isn't meant to carry everything. It's meant to carry only what gives you meaning, peace, and purpose. You're not forgetting because you're lazy. You're forgetting because your mind is cluttered. Too much noise, too many useless things fighting for space. Imagine your brain as a glass of water. Every day, you keep pouring more and more messages, headlines, notifications, until it spills and cracks. If your brain is full of junk, how can it store what's important? It's not that you're weak, it's that your focus is being stolen daily. Every morning, the cycle begins. You wake up, reach for your phone, scroll through endless updates before even brushing your teeth. Before breakfast, you've already absorbed hundreds of opinions that aren't yours, emotions that aren't real, and worries that aren't necessary. By 9 a.m., your mind is exhausted. You haven't even started your day, but your mental energy is already burned out. That's the real memory killer. Too much input, not enough silence. Your brain is starving for quiet. Without stillness, it can't separate signal from noise, truth from distraction. Let's make it simple. You make a grocery list in the morning: milk, bread, apples, soap, onions. You tell yourself, I'll remember it. It's easy. But after checking 20 notifications, watching 2 videos, replying to messages, and scrolling memes, you arrive at the store and forget half. You remember milk and apples, but forget onions and soap. You feel frustrated, blaming your memory. But the truth is, it was never your fault. Your brain was flooded, important data drowned under meaningless noise. The problem wasn't intelligence, it was overload. The mind is a garden, not a garbage bin. You must protect it like something sacred. If weeds grow wild, they choke the flowers. Every day, ask yourself, what am I allowing into my mind? Is this helping me grow or cluttering my focus? Am I feeding my peace or my chaos? You cannot have clarity if your mind is drowning in distraction. Protect your attention like you protect your home. Don't let random noise live rent-free inside. Practical steps to protect your mind. Number 1. Start your mornings in silence. Before touching your phone, give yourself 5 minutes of stillness. Breathe deeply. Set an intention. Let your brain wake up clean. That quiet beginning rewires your focus for the entire day. Number 2. Limit useless information. Unfollow noise. Mute distractions. Choose what you watch. Read and think with purpose. Curate your mental diet. Number 3. Journal before sleep. Empty your thoughts onto paper. Release what's heavy. Writing clears the mind and sharpens what matters. Number 4. Practice digital fasting. 1 hour a day, no phone, no notifications, just you, your thoughts, and real silence. Watch your clarity return. Number 5. Choose what deserves your energy. Not every message needs a reply. Not every headline needs attention. Protect your brain's bandwidth. Your mind is your home. Don't leave its doors open to strangers. Build boundaries. Say no to noise. Say yes to peace. Learning and presence. Because memory is not just about learning. It's about making space for what deserves to stay. You cannot fill a full cup. From today, be ruthless about what you allow into your mental world. You only get one brain. Don't waste it on things that drain your light. Protecting your mind is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's self-respect. It's how you reclaim the space where your best self grows. This is the final step, the quiet superpower that turns chaos into clarity, the ultimate discipline of memory mastery. Now you know the 12 proven steps to remember anything for life. Not just tricks, not hacks, but deep, powerful, transformational practices. You've learned how to focus, visualize, repeat, teach, and feel your way into lifelong memory. You've seen how clarity creates confidence. These steps will help you remember faster, speak better English, and truly take control of your learning and your life again. But remember this, knowing isn't enough. You must live it, practice it, repeat it. Because real memory isn't about talent, it's about habits. Ask yourself daily, do I write what I learn? Do I teach what I remember? Do I review before sleep? Do I clear mental clutter? Do I visualize? Do I repeat with emotion? Do I protect my attention? Because if the answer is yes, you're no longer just learning, you're evolving. You're becoming someone who remembers what matters, not just what's next. Someone who chooses clarity over noise, purpose over distraction. This video isn't just about memory. It's about awakening the real power inside your mind, the part that knows, grows, and transforms. And one last truth before you go. This isn't just good for your memory, it's incredible for your English too. Every sentence you've heard, every phrase you've felt, every idea you've understood today has trained your listening, vocabulary, and focus. You're not just improving your brain, you're mastering a new language through emotion, rhythm, and meaning. That's how real fluency begins. So if this video helped you, if it opened your eyes or made you feel alive again, don't let it end here. Subscribe to Soulful English. Because here, we don't just learn English, we grow through it. We heal, think, and transform together. And before you leave, take a deep breath. Whisper this truth to yourself. My mind is not broken, it is ready. It just needed a new way. Now you have it. Protect it, use it, live it. Because your mind is the greatest miracle you'll ever own. Make it unforgettable.